Welcome to the Wednesday, November 9th, 2016 edition of The Way with Anoa. We are post-election 2016. How are you feeling out there tonight? I want to encourage everyone to check out the Podcast Revolution site. I've mentioned several times your podcast. Definitely want to hear from you, how you guys are feeling, what's going on. We're going to continue to keep that open so that you can have a voice, so you can express yourself. And basically with your podcast, and we'll tweet out the link again, is that you call in and we comprise it into a podcast episode with your voice, your messaging. Try to keep it as clean as possible. But how you feeling out there? Ooh, child, this has been a cycle. I am tired. You guys probably can hear it in my voice. I only had about 2 hours of sleep this afternoon. We were up, myself, Nick Nolan, Brandon Sutton, Adair. There's a whole bunch of us last night doing a commentary way into the wee hours. So I know Trump won. Like, honestly, who actually thought Trump was going to win? Like, I didn't think Trump was going to win. I knew that there was a lot wrong. There were a lot of issues, and we'll get more into that with my guest this evening, Marcus Farrell, who was the former director of African American Outreach with the Bernie Sanders campaign. We're going to get into that a little bit he's coming in around about 8:30. So there was a lot that went wrong, right? And it seems like today, instead of acknowledging as a real leader would, right, what went wrong, or even taking time to address supporters in an honest and arm-length manner, we have what we have today. We have this insistence by the so woke, we are the left folks, you have to vote for her or else people. The people who did not see any value in building and working with us earlier, the people who did not see any value in obviously doing outreach with their own people, complaining, it's Rush's fault, Susan Sarandon's fault, Nina Turner should have, those people should have. You got black voters turning on each other. You got people blaming third-party voters. The numbers, what did you guys say that's in primary? Math is math, right? The math didn't add up for her. And I understand the frustration that, she may have won the popular vote, but lost the electoral, the vote in terms of electoral college. That's unfortunately the math of America. And we saw this issue happen in 2000. And none of you so woke. We've always been around. We know what we're doing. You little millennials, go sit down someplace. Y'all ain't do nothing about this. And quite honestly, the greatest guard against this situation that we're now in would have been to make sure your candidate actually carried states that her predecessor won in 2012. How do you lose Wisconsin? Milwaukee's is supposedly a Democratic stronghold. Like, how do you lose Wisconsin? How do you lose groups of white voters that Obama, despite not being, very popular at times with, white people in various sectors, you did worse? How are you white and you did worse with white people than someone named Barack Hussein Obama? I don't understand that. I do actually understand it. I shouldn't say that. It's called poor outreach. It's called hubris. It's called entitlement. Just because you're a woman, well, I'm a woman, and that's the most outsider thing there is. You're an elitist white corporatist married to a former president. You're out of touch with the people. The people who followed you are out of touch with the people, because clearly you couldn't even get your people to vote for you. Like, seriously. We want to lay the blame at somebody's feet today. We lay the blame at the DNC. We lay the blame at the Democratic Party as a whole. We lay the blame at Democratic operatives, these mainstream media pundits, surrogates, Hillary Clinton. We lay the blame at Bill Clinton's feet for encouraging Donald Trump for being his friend, right? Enabling him. We lay the blame at people like Bill de Blasio and Andrew Cuomo, who are now on Twitter talking about, in the sake of unity, we'll all work together. You done spent all these months trying to convince us that he's this evil, hateful racist, the second coming of Hitler. You want us all to now peacefully work together? What the hell y'all smoking? Nah, we not ready to make them nice. There will be no breaking bread. Like, I'm so sorry. You have ruined all credibility. Al Franken. I mean, the list goes on. Elizabeth Warren. There's so many of you that are so tainted by this whole process. But I do say to the new so woke left, the rising, you know, moral authority in America, watch your step, right? Because, you know, hubris is a downfall. That is the one lesson I think we get out of, you know, this side of the election cycle, is that hubris is a downfall. And hubris is what took Secretary Clinton out. Not sexism. I'm not going to say that sexism doesn't exist. I absolutely believe there is sexism out there. There are people, we've talked to people who would not support her because she was a woman. But at the same time, making this all about her being a woman as if she was some symbol for advancement for womanhood was a fatal flaw and error. She overreached, she overstepped, and it was peak white feminism. You know, Lena Dunham and Amy Schumer and Amanda Arquette and the rest of them are just little miniature younger versions of a peak white feminist. And it's a problem. And white feminists did not show up at the polls. And don't say not all, I'm a white woman and I'm a feminist. No, it's a very particular phrase. Look it up. It's a very particular mindset. Look it up. But yeah, but you know, while everyone's mourning, and again, this has been, we've been talking about this. Like, I got receipts, Ben got receipts, Project Sanity got receipts, we got receipts, Yvette Carnell got receipts, Tim Black got receipts, we all got receipts, right? And I take no pleasure. I don't know about you guys. I take no pleasure in being right. None whatsoever. I actually, when my son came in from playing outside, I actually broke down and cried a little bit. Because for a fleeting moment, I thought, did I make a mistake for not, you know, working myself to the bone? But then I realized, nope, I did not.